Hi, everyone. This is Cindy Harrison, your host of Artfully Connected with Cindy Harrison and Artful Webinars. And I am here tonight with Miss Liz Vigliotto. Hi, Liz. How are you doing?
Hi, Cindy. I'm good. Thank you.
So we're here tonight. She is one of the newer members of Artful Webinars, teaching a couple projects for us this fall. And we would like for you to come join her and take some classes from her, because I know I've never taken a class with you. This is the first time we're actually meeting, but I've heard you are an awesome teacher and your designs are just beautiful, and the color combinations and the detail that you put into your work is gorgeous. And so I knew that you would be an awesome member of our family here at Artful Webinars and Artfully Connected. And so I'm so glad that you accepted our invitation and joined us.
Thanks for inviting me.
So we do these Meet the Artists. We used to do a lot of them. I haven't done many in a while, but thank you so much for being here to do this with me. And thank everyone who's watching and taking time out of your evening to watch this Meet the Artist segment. If you have any questions for Liz as I'm asking my questions, please go ahead and put them in the comments and I will ask them for you. If you are watching the replay, you can still put them in the comments. Put an @ sign in front of Liz's name so that she'll be notified that there's a question for her or a comment that you would like her to see. And then she'll get back to you. If it's a question, she'll get back to you on that. There are always a very number of people watching at any given time, but we leave these up all the time for the length of the group, and they will be in a guide under guides, and it will be Meet the Artist guide. Right now, I'm not sure if that's number 4, but it will be there. And so people can come back for a long time. And I also put them on my YouTube channel. And that's the Cindy Harrison Art, I believe. And you can go to the YouTube channel and see all the previous artists that I've interviewed throughout the last 4 years. It's hard to believe I've been doing this since 2019. It's been a while, but thank you so much. I'm going to just start off asking a really I always say the most difficult question. Tell us where you're from, Liz.
Well, I am from California and I still live here in Simi Valley. And it's in Southern California.
Oh, okay, great. That's wonderful. So how's the weather down there?
It's finally cooling off. It was really hot for a couple of weeks. We always get this really bad hot weather in the summer. And where I live, it is a valley, so it gets really hot.
Yeah, I think you sent the heat up here into New Hampshire, because we are like, this is September. It should be cool, and it's so
right.
hot.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that I visited Southern California a few times, and I do love it. And San Diego weather was just gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
When I was there for the STP conference, it was just gorgeous. The evenings were cool. The days were mild.
Well, yeah, you're right on the ocean. So yeah.
It was quite beautiful. So the next question is, did you come from an artistic family?
Not really. I mean, my mom said my grandparents on my dad's side, my grandmother was maybe a little artistic. I have an aunt that's creative. My mom's creative in her own way, but not really the art that I do, the drawing and the painting and all that. No. But I've always been like that ever since I was a child.
Oh, wow. So that's cool, because I feel like after I found my art niche, I went back to my coloring books when I was a kid.
Oh, okay.
And I could see, I'm like, oh, those were the colors I used.
But that's all I ever wanted to do was just sit in my room and draw and color and play. That's it.
Cool. Did you go for formal education, or you just self-taught, or you picked classes as an adult?
Well, in high school, I majored in art, which didn't do anything for me. But then I actually went to beauty school after high school, and I still don't do that. but I work at a college, and I did go back to school and took some art classes. But basically it's just self-taught and tool painting classes.
Cool. So when did you start painting, doing decorative painting?
When I was 19, and that was in 1983. And I've only taken a few little breaks here and there when my son was little. But basically, I don't know, how many years is that? 40? No.
We're not mentioning that.
Oh my God. Well, I was 19 and I'm 57. So yeah, about 40 years, I think. Designing about 10 years.
That was going to be my one of my next questions. So you've been designing for the
Well,
past-
I started designing with my chapter that I belong to. That's now, they're no longer a chapter, but I started with them and they kind of encouraged me and pushed me to do stuff. And I did. And because I just didn't think I could or would or whatever. And they, oh yeah, you should do it. You should do it. So I did. And they were my guinea pigs for a long time.
You got to love those friends,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's like they're not going to do it, but they're going to push you to do it.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm glad they did. I'm glad they did.
Me too.
You have a lot to offer the industry, and your style is definitely different than everyone else's. So this is always good. There's always room for
Thank you. And that was like the hardest part for me because I didn't know what my style was. I'd always painted other people's stuff. And so it just kind of evolved into the way I paint now. Sometimes I see my style in more pieces than others, but still, basically, my daughter says I can always just find your stuff. So
definitely. So when you started painting, did you have like specific artists that influenced you?
mm-hmm. When I started, the very first books I ever bought were Maxine Thomas. And I can't remember who I painted in my first like classes that I took, but I remember when I went to buy books at the tool painting shop, I gravitated towards her stuff. And then later on down the road, I discovered Judy Deep House and Linda Ptula and Rosemary West. So I would say those four have been my biggest influence of what I love, the colors, how they paint, whatever. So yeah, it's those four.
And that's like similar to the ones that got me going. So that is
Mm-hmm.
awesome. That is awesome. And wonderful painters, wonderful teachers. And that's, best way to start. So
Right.
when did you, so you told us when you started designing. Now, when did you start teaching? Like, did you teach all, like those ladies, did you teach their designs to your friends and everything before you started doing your own?
A little bit. Yeah, I did. Yeah. I actually had, I taught out of my house. I had some ladies, I had like 7 people at one time. Every Monday night, I changed my living room around and we'd teach beginning classes. And honestly, it was okay. But I ended up doing all their pieces. It was like, here, you do it, do it. And I'm like, well, you're never going to learn. So,
yeah.
But we had a good time.
Yeah, I know how that goes.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's one thing I say with online classes is they can't hand you their piece and say you do it.
Yeah.
You fix it. So in a way, I feel like they learn more virtually because now they have to learn how to fix it. And I think that's a very valuable lesson.
Right. And I think there's pros and cons. I mean, I taught in a shop for a long time too, here in Simi before it went out of business. I loved it. I mean, I just love teaching. And so do I prefer in person? Probably. but I love the convenience of Zoom. So, or virtual, whatever we're doing.
Whatever we're doing, you're right.
So I get a little bit of both.
So was there a job, other jobs before or during your art journey? Have you held other jobs as well? Or you're presently you are employed outside?
Yeah, I
of
work
being a
at
designer?
I work at Cal State Northridge. I've been there over 20 years. I'm hoping to retire in the next couple of years or sooner. But I was a stay-at-home mom when I had my daughter. So I stayed at home with her till she was 6. We lived in Colorado, then we moved back here to California, and I knew I have to go back to work to live here with my family. So I got a job at the college, and I've just been there ever since. It's a great place to work. I got flexibility, and I've been there so long. I get tons of time off, and all that stuff.
So you're like
And
administrative?
yeah, my area is called work control. I work at the physical plant, so we're not the academic side. We're the side that takes care of all the buildings, the maintenance, and the grounds.
Oh,
And we're just a big fun-loving group, and I wouldn't have changed it for the world. They're just wonderful.
hmm.
A lot of my friends have retired, but anyway, but I am now a supervisor in one of the departments called work control, where the campus, they call in, our toilet's clogged, we have ants or whatever.
Oh,
And
great. It's so far away from art.
yeah, oh, the only thing close to art is we're next to the art and design building. That's it. That's the closest I get. But I actually used to do murals. I would just kind of word of mouth, people would call me. I go a lot of baby rooms, but
Mhm.
that was hard. That's too physical. I don't want to do that. I don't have the equipment and the ladders and all that stuff. That was
Yeah.
tough.
As we get older,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
leave that for the young people.
This was even when I was young and I didn't want to do it. So
Yeah.
it was it wasn't what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So
I hear you. I hear you. So with all your beautiful designs, how do they come to you? How do you come up with them?
well, when the juices are flowing, as my husband says, because sometimes I'm just got nothing, right? But a lot of times, believe it or not, it's when I'm driving home from work, because it's quiet and I can just sit and think. And then I could see something and oh, wow, I like that. Or I know what I like. And I sometimes look at old photographs for inspiration, believe it or not, and then make them colorful, pictures at my grandma's house, or, things like that. It's strange. Sometimes it just comes to me, but usually it's when I'm driving in the car and I'm by myself and it's peaceful, or, at night when I'm ready to go to bed. I just know what I like. And honestly, I just need more time to be able to do it.
So do you keep like a notebook by your nightstand or something like that? Because I know sometimes that happens to me. Either I'm driving.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, I
usually in a
don't, but I
position
need
where I can't write them down.
Right. And I just usually will have a vision of something. And it's not really a thought like, oh, I want to go paint an apple tree. It's just something I've seen, or, as I'm driving, or just something, from a movie, I love storefronts. I love the old-fashioned storefronts, the country markets. I love architecture. So a lot of times I will draw all that stuff out, but I haven't done one yet. I'm working on one now, but it's just, I gotta think about what I can do for what I'm doing right now, online teaching, a lot of the stuff that I want to do, I don't think I can teach.
Okay.
If that, I know that sounds a little strange, but it can't be. I sometimes think, and I'm not patting myself on the back, I just sometimes I can go into fine art real easily. And I have to stop myself and say, okay, this is decorative art. You don't need all this, and this. Do you see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I totally understand. I do
Yeah.
understand because
I have to stop myself.
yeah, did a program for 3 years for free. And I taught every Sunday. And I
Mhm.
would start designing on Monday for the following Sunday. And I would catch myself getting way too into what I was doing and realizing there's no way an average painter is going to paint this in 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. See, yeah. And so,
You got to stop and you got to dummy it, not to say dummy it down, but dummy
no,
it down. You know, you got to break it
yeah,
down
and
to
in any of
something.
those bigger projects, in fact, I'm going to show you tonight, is going to be a 2-day
Oh, yeah.
class. And it's, you'll see when I show you why.
Mhm.
And it's not crazy, it's not fine art, but it's more, it's got a lot of stuff on it. So, it just depends.
It's going to take a while. You have to work it
Mhm.
out. So, but
Mhm.
definitely I totally get what you're saying. Yes. What is your favorite? I know you said a lot about you like the old movies, you like the old storefronts and stuff, but
Yeah.
what is your favorite subject matter that you seem to be attracted to the most when it comes to your designs?
Food. I paint cupcakes and cookies and candy. I like objects. I like still life. So I like to paint objects,
Food.
and I like to make and food. I do. I think it's so fun to paint a cupcake or a cookie. And I actually have this one piece. I don't know where it is right now, but it was up on my wall. It looks like a box of C's candy, and it looks like I was so proud of myself that it made it look like real candy, you know? So it's things like that that I like to do. It's whimsy with realism.
Hmm. And that's
It's
what makes you very unique.
Thank you. I hope so, because that's what I like to do, I know this isn't what I know, there's not a box of candy here, or there's not a cupcake with a snowman climbing on top of it, but I want this cupcake to look real. You know what I mean? So
Right. Right. But I love that. I like paintings of cupcakes and cookies,
mhm,
cakes
mhm.
and pies, stuff
Yeah,
like
I just love
that.
all the detail. I really
Yeah,
do. So I just like painting things, objects, and putting them together.
cool. Now, what is your favorite medium? I mean, have you tried other mediums and what is your
I
favorite?
have, I have, but of course, I like acrylic. Um, but I love color so much that I see a lot of these painters, oil painters, and different fine artists, and the richness of their colors. So I use deco art, but I love Joe Sonia's colors. And I know there's other ones out there, but the medium that I'm best at is acrylic.
Hmm. And so not just the deco art bottled acrylics.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm. And what is your favorite technique?
Floating.
The
Uh,
F word.
yeah, the F word. I love, yeah. My favorite technique is floating, but you know what? I think dry brushing is taking over, because I've been dry brushing probably on all my pieces I've been designing lately, but I'm doing it in layers, and I'm using a heat gun in between, and I'm seeing the difference that my dry brushing shows now compared to just regular dry brushing, and how the layered effects really can make your picture pop.
Yeah.
So that's probably the newest one. I love it that I thought of this on my own.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah,
Mhm.
I can't
Yeah,
wait to
because
see that.
well, when I'm teaching, I tell them, okay, we're going to do white, right? And my other new thought is, even if you're painting in white, all line work in white for me needs to be done twice. Otherwise, it just doesn't pop enough, because I love contrast. But with the dry brushing, I tell the students, dry brush on, dry it a little bit. We go back in, fill a little bit of the holes that you missed. I try to show them step by step by step how to get this effect for what what the piece is. Because, you know, you get a lot of the students saying, well, it doesn't look like yours. Well, there's just, you know, experience level could be different, but if you teach in these different techniques, they can have their piece look like yours.
Right.
If that's what they want.
Right. But everyone's will look different, and yours probably looks different.
Mhm.
You know, if you did 10 of them, they'd all look different.
Yeah. I just, you know, I tend to, my stuff isn't super fast. So I think, I mean, some of it is, of course, but some of it's just, you know, there's a lot to it. But that's what I like to paint. But I also try to think of what potential students would like to paint.
Right. Yep. What the
I have
market.
to think outside. I have to not think about myself. I think about the business.
Right. Yeah. We're just a small percentage, a very small percentage of the audience out there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
So do you have a favorite brush?
Okay, I have two new favorite brushes.
Ooh.
So, and I'm probably really late in saying this, but I love, I'm sure this, I know it's been around a while, but the Dynasty Encaustic, this one, by Dynasty, this for when I do a lot of like woodwork and the streaking, I love this brush. And then
That's stiff?
huh?
Is that like
Oh,
a stiff
yeah.
hair?
Yeah. I think it's hog bristles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the encaustic. I have the wrong glasses on because I can't find my other ones, but yeah, it's the encaustic. I love this thing. I finally found something that I love for doing all the wood grain. Okay, so this one, and then the one I'm never ever changing is the Dynasty Micron extra long. I think it's right here. Yeah, 5i. So it's extra long. I love this brush. So that's it. Yeah.
That is very long. So that's your detail brush.
Yeah. And it's a liner brush. I just love it.
Wow. That's cool. Maybe we'll get you back so you can demonstrate how you use those two brushes.
Yeah.
That would be
I
wonderful.
just love it.
Yeah.
Love them.
What is your best tip to students? If you were going, you know, you're giving tips to your students, what tip do you give them?
Well, God, there's, I guess, I know base coating is important, and I think it's important too. But I honestly don't believe, I guess it depends what you're painting. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now, I'm one to talk because I want every line straight and this and that. But I try to show them that you can straighten things out and fix things with your floats. You know, let's just say your line's not perfectly straight or whatever, it's not the shape you want. You can go back in, and I've demonstrated this to them. You know, I'm like, here, look at, I'm fixing it right here. It's a cleanup and things like that. One thing that has saved me, I know it sounds strange, is I keep 2 water buckets, not one. I have one for dark color and one for light color, because with my dark colors, I don't want to keep getting up every 5 minutes, you know, to change my water.
That's very cool. I never thought about that.
I like having two water buckets.
No.
I know it's strange.
No, it isn't. It makes a lot of sense because I do
Mhm.
get up and change.
I hate when you have to base coat something in black and you ruin your water 5 minutes after you sat down.
Yep.
Then you gotta get up and go rinse it, blah, blah, blah. So yeah,
Yep.
I like 2 buckets. Well, one tip I do have, and I don't know if students follow it or not because I'm not there in person.
Mhm.
So my patterns are very detailed that I give the students. And it's so they have an easier time following me. And plus I do my fonts larger. I do a 14 font so everybody can see it. I try to do a lot of bullets. I want my patterns easier to read. Okay. I think then that's just because of how when at work, you know, I'm always doing stuff like that. And so I know how to organize things on a page. But I do, and I know a lot of artists do this, you know, but it does take time. I have a shading worksheet and a highlight worksheet and a detail worksheet. And it's especially for the shading and highlighting, if we're on Zoom and they can follow that sheet, it only helps them. So they're not trying to get a hold of me. Oh, what did you do? What did you just do? So they can see where they're at.
Cool. Definitely. Yeah, that's great. Wonderful tips. And hope people are going to take them to heart and maybe try them out. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Is there a medium, a subject, or a technique that you haven't done that you would like to try?
Yeah, for sure. I think I don't want to say oils, but I think I want to learn how to do clouds. They're one of my favorite things to look at when I'm outside. And I take pictures of, we don't get a lot of rain here. So when we get rain clouds, we got to take advantage of it. So learning how to paint clouds would be one. Using some of the deco art, the different mixed media stuff, because I've seen how that works and I just love it. And doing different backgrounds. I have to start experimenting more with backgrounds, because I find myself getting very same thing, you know, and not doing anything different. And then I'll get hooked on one and I'll do that one forever. And nobody wants that either. So yeah, those would be a couple things. One of my goals is to take a class with Marco Aguilar and do a water scene, a beach scene. So
that would be wonderful. I haven't taken a class with him yet either, and his stuff is gorgeous.
Well, he only lives like a half an hour from my house. So
oh, there you go. Does he have a studio near you?
I don't think so. I know he just travels everywhere. So I got to get on one of his online classes, I think.
Yeah, hard to pin him down, huh? Do you have any hobby? I mean, you work full time and you're designing, I assume the other part of your time and your family. You still have family that you have to tend in a home, but do you have other hobbies other than painting that you enjoy?
Yeah. Let's see. I like to bake. I love movies. I love TV. My husband and I, you know, we're big, you know, movies and TV shows. So I guess, I don't know if that's really considered a hobby, but
it's something you enjoy.
It's something I enjoy. Yeah. I like movies. I love to read. I love to play games. I love cards. I play Scrabble with my mom. I love Scrabble. So I play Scrabble with her. It's that other side of my brain that has to work too sometimes. Not just the artsy side, but more the analytical side, I think. But I love computers. I kind of nerdy stuff, I guess. But yeah.
That's cool. No.
Yeah.
It like you said, I like how you're exercising both sides of your brain. I think that's
well, yeah, because I'm not out walking like I should, so I better exercise my brain, right?
I can say that a bunch of, you know, I think that you're in good company about that. So that if anyone has any questions in the audience, please go right ahead and ask in the chat, and I will relay those questions for you. Also, this is the time in the program where I ask the artists to do a show and tell, talk
Okay.
about the projects that you're going to be teaching, not
Yeah.
just for upper webinars, but if you're going to a convention or you're doing for another group or chapter, and let us know what they are, where they are, when they are, and how people can reach somebody to sign up for them. So
Okay.
go ahead and talk a little bit about that.
Okay, well, let me show them what I'm going to do for webinars first. This is a little 3x5 tag, and it's for fall. And I love it because I was able to put the little words in the background. And it's just something simple and pretty. Okay, so the mushrooms, I love the colors on this one. This is a stamp of a skating snowman. And I love black and white check. I put it on all my edges. I love checks. So that's just me. But I love the background is a brown, a tan color with the white. I just love these kinds of colors. Okay,
I love all the detail that you put in there, because
his jacket's really detailed.
Yeah, every time I look at it, I see something more.
Yeah. I love painting clothes, jackets, food. Here, okay, so my other one. Okay, so I went to OKC for Palooza. And these are now on my website. So this was a jumbo ornament, and this was a class. And they really liked him a lot. So this was good. He was fun. It's like an 8-inch ornament.
Adorable.
Okay. Then this was a make it and take it of my little pumpkin. So she was fun. And then I love these little tags. So just some ginger cookies for Halloween. Just something simple and quick. This was a make it and take it too. And then this was a class that I did of a scarecrow. We had a blast in that class. The girls were great. So I did that for OKC. This next piece that I'm going to show you, I've had for a very long time. And I took it to Oklahoma and I set it on my table, and I put a piece of paper that said interested to take the class, leave your email. And I did, and I got like 30 people interested. And it's going to be a 2-day class on Zoom on October 21st and 22nd. It's a Saturday and Sunday.
Very nice. A lot of detail.
There is, and it's well worth it in the end. When that's why it's a 2-day class. And the information, I believe, is on my business page. I have to put it on my website. I haven't done that yet. I have to do everything myself, so I forget things here and there. I got to do this and do that, and so some things get missed. Trust me.
You got to have that to-do list and write it down, so you can check it off as you do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I need an assistant. I need another me.
I lived that life for many years.
Yeah. So, but no, I've got a few things in the works and things that I want to put out there, and so we'll see what happens.
Cool. Now you talk about your website. I know that I put it in there, and my assistant Sandy has put your website information in the chat, and you have a Facebook business page as well. And do you have any other social media?
No, not yet.
Very
I'm
good.
supposed to, I guess. I did have on YouTube, I have some stuff. I think some of my older classes up there, but nothing that I've consistently managed. So no.
Well, that's the whole thing. You can only spread yourself so thin, right?
Yeah,
it's a lot. It's a lot. Just even keeping up with your social media is a full-time job.
That's a whole day. That's just a whole day in itself.
Yeah.
And
I get that. But so there hasn't been any questions, but again, if anyone is watching the replay of this interview, feel free to go ahead and ask questions of Liz. Put the @ and LIZ, but don't leave a space between the @ and Liz. Put them together, and then her her name should pop up. Also, too, Sandy just posted where you were on YouTube. So there's a link there for you to go check out her YouTube channel. Don't forget while you're there to subscribe and click the little bell for notifications. So when she does post a new video, you'll be notified that she has posted a new video. And every time you subscribe or like her business page, it helps the artist on their journey. So please do that as well. So yeah, I know this went by fast.
It really did. Can I advertise for this class?
Oh,
On
definitely.
and
Yes.
for our full webinars? Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah. And I try to put it out there in the different groups. Sandy's been helping me with that as well. But yes, if they might, I want to say, sometimes the audience feels that they're above the beginner status, and they are. But these pieces might look like beginner projects, but they're intermediate projects because there's so much detail and so much unique techniques that Liz can add, right?
And there's some of my followers this might just be right up their alley, because I know what they like from the previous, the classes we've taken together and what they buy from me. This very well could be, I'm going to definitely gear towards them too.
Yeah. And so that's why I used to, one of our family members was Sandy LaFleur, and her stuff, different style than yours, but similar in the sense that they were misleading. They look like beginner pieces, but there's always something more to learn. There's something new to learn from her, or from, project with her.
I'm going to see Sandy in just a few weeks. Oh God, next week I'm going down to San Diego for the autumn getaway for the chapter down there.
Oh, good.
She's teaching down there, and I'm going to be there too. So it's going to be great.
She's fun. She's fun.
Oh,
she's wonderful. She's a lovely lady. And so, yeah. And again, she used to say it might look simple, but it has a lot of layers, and yours has a lot of layers to it. And I'm really excited about learning the layers of your dry brushing and seeing how that builds up the elements of your design. So I hope that you come back and do maybe just a little demonstration of especially those two brushes. I know that my audience here, I won't say mine, but our audience here loves demonstrations of brushes, because I don't know about you, but many times we go to the conferences and conventions and stuff, and we buy brushes because at the time they look really cool and we need to have it. And then we get it home and we don't know what to do with it.
Yeah. I know. Been there. Still do that. Are you kidding me?
So if you could find time to come back and do that, that would be wonderful. I know the audience would love it.
Okay. Yeah, let me look at my stuff that's going on, and sometime between probably late September, mid-October, before the next class or before the second class, I can do that.
That'd be awesome.
Maybe before the first class. I'll see. Let me look at my calendar.
Well, it's not like you're sitting around twiddling your thumbs and eating bonbons, right?
Yeah, or painting them, right?
Watching soap operas.
No, just Netflix while I'm painting.
Any particular program that you like to watch?
I watch, I love British mystery, the detective shows. I watch a lot of, Netflix, Amazon. I don't know. I like a variety, but I don't like any of the new stuff. That just shows I'm getting old. So my favorite comedy forever and ever is Everybody Loves Raymond. I can watch that over and over and over and laugh every time. So,
Yeah, it's a funny crowd. It's
yeah,
cast, I should say, funny cast.
yeah,
That's
it's a great cast. So,
awesome. Well, I, hate to say that we have come to the closing, the last of which where they can purchase your books and patterns is your website.
yeah, all my
Liz-
patterns, and I supply all the surfaces, or most of them, except for that tin tray. I have to order it, and I supply them. I just don't. I cut my own wood. I have a laser, so between me and my husband, we can get most of the wood cut.
Very nice. And you want to just tell them once again what your website address is?
Oh yeah, LizVigliotto.com. I had to keep it simple with the last name like that. So
I know what you mean.
I
So
went from Grimm to Vigliotto. Oh my God. Yeah.
it's okay. Vigliotto is
And my husband's he's an Italian from Connecticut.
oh
Kind
wow.
of your neck of the woods.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
a hop, skip, and jump down the road.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much.
And Connecticut's a beautiful place too.
Yeah.
If anyone has, again, any questions for Liz, go right ahead and put the @ in her name and she will be notified. Thank you for joining us and listening to Liz's artful journey. And I hope that you've taken some of those tips and you keep them with you, as well as come join her classes and learn more about her technique and her designs, love of design. And also too, you can do that at artfulwebinars.com, or you can go to Liz's website and see what she's got going on over there and sign up for her online classes, as well as wherever she's going to be teaching. If it's in your neck of the woods or Zoom, go ahead and sign up for those. Thank you so much, Liz, for this wonderful evening.
For having me.
It's great to meet you finally.
Yeah, you too. I know it's kind of taken a little, it's been crazy. So
It is.
I appreciate it.
Especially when you're working full time.
Yeah.
That's
just my only hang up, really. My son's he's going to be 18. So my daughter doesn't live at home anymore. So yeah.
Yeah.
But been contend for himself. So we're good.
But it still eats into your fun times. So
yeah.
But and then cutting your own wood to boot on top of.
Well, and I actually have my husband do that most of it. Yeah, because it's just too much for me to do.
And he has a full.
He can sit in here, and he's retired. So.
Oh, okay.
Retired.
Yeah.
So he can sit here and cut my wood.
He's working for you.
Yeah. And everything else. So.
Yeah, there you go. So thank you so much, everyone.
Okay.
Have a wonderful rest of your week. And please come back again a couple weeks from now. I will be interviewing Miss Pat Lentine. And so come back for that as well. And if you want any more information on Artful Webinars or the upcoming live convention, it's going to be a show and tell will be on, I want to say, it's a Tuesday night in a couple of weeks. I don't think it's next week, but it could be next week. The 12th is next Tuesday, the 12th.
Oh, yeah.
Then I think that's when it is. But you'll always find it posted under the featured column, just like you'll find the replay for this posted under featured, also posted under, I believe, guide number 4. And I put Meet Liz Vigliotto, so you can go check that out, and all the other meet the artists, meet the vendors that are there. That's it. So thank you so much. Have a good night.
Thanks. Bye-bye.